So, I read up and said you've been doing this for almost 40 years, jazz music.
I've been playing professionally since, first time I played professionally I was probably 11 or so, so yeah, it's been a little over 40 years. I've been doing it really seriously about 35. I just was lucky when I was young. I always kind of had my own sound and that kind of thing, and started playing with bands that were working at the time. Back then there was a lot of live music, and so I played in restaurants and played in all kinds of places. Played private parties. I started recording very, very young. I used to play trumpet and a bunch of other things. So I would go in and play all the instruments and started writing arrangements back then and all that. So I've been at it for a while.
Yeah, I assume you have a wife and children.
I do. I have my wife. We've been married now 20 years, but really we met at the university in 1982. So we've been together since, and it took me a while to get married because I didn't want her to have to deal with me while I was practicing and all that kind of stuff.
No kids? No time for them?
It's just hard. It's hard to put somebody through that kind of stuff. It's such a
It's
a lonely art form. Trying to learn how to play an instrument well. There's no room really in your life for much else except that kind of 12 hours a day kind of thing. No, this came later on. I have quite a few of them. And by the way, we have 3 children. One of my sons in Gainesville in school, and my daughters are in middle school. So it's neat. Family life is really the most important thing for me. I grew up in a family, so that's really my first responsibility. Everything else is secondary. But this saxophone actually belonged to a very good friend of mine who worked at the musicians union. His name was Mike Selker, and he got sick, and he knew he wasn't going to be around for a long time. And he asked me. He said, "Would you mind, Carlos? Can we get them to be? I can't do this. Hey guys, you guys aren't going to get any volume on that." So I got this from myself for he passed away. He wasn't well, and he asked me. He said, "Would you keep playing this horn for me?" But this thing has been, he had it for a long time. It was built in the mid '50s, and it's now on a lot of records. So the one that I play on most records and stuff, I keep at home. I just take this. I have this one because it's very special because it was Mike's and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'm very fortunate. I have some wonderful vintage summer saxophones, and they don't make them like that anymore. These are pretty magnificent instruments.
So what do we call home?
Miami is home. Miami's been home for me for most of my life, most of my adult life. I came here in 1968, learned English here, went to school here, all that kind of stuff. So it's nice. This is a great place to grow up, and I love being here. I love Miami. I love the city and the culture. It's really my hometown, so this is home. I spent a lot of time outside of Miami. I spent a lot of time traveling, touring, doing that stuff, but this is home.
So that's pretty much covers it.
Is that it?
Couple of questions, and
Good.
we'll let you relax and get some food.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm good.
I know what it is before a show. It gets very
Thanks a
hectic.
lot.